Jake, go take a nap.
Okay. We good to go? Good evening.
Lay
So,
down.
meeting of Scituate Conservation Commission, January 10th, 2020. On June 16th of 2021, Governor Baker signed into law an act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This act includes an extension until April 1st of 2022 of the remote meeting provision of the March 12th, 2020 executive order, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. You're hereby advised that this meeting and all communications during this meeting may be recorded by the town of Scituate in accordance with the open meeting law. So good evening. Before we get started, just want to let you know, Amy's not here this evening, so we will be continuing 39 Arrowwood Drive, 208 Chief Justice Cushing, and 11 Gilson Road, as well as voting on any orders until our January 24th meeting. So if anybody's here for those, we're simply going to continue them without input this evening. Our first, does anybody have anything else that they'd like to add to the agenda or change? If that's so, then if I could get a motion to accept the agenda.
I make a motion to accept the agenda as written.
Okay, there's a second.
Second from Jen.
Thank you, Jen. So all in favor, Richard?
Yes.
Do we have Doug on yet?
No.
Yes, Doug's on.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Doug?
Doug cannot unmute himself.
Only Penny can do that.
Oh, I don't wish I could sometimes.
There we go.
Hi, Doug.
I am
Good evening.
unmuted. Nobody knows what's going to happen now.
Uh-oh. Do you okay with the agenda?
Yes, I vote yes to accept it.
Thank you. Andy?
No, Andy.
No, and Brendan?
Yes.
Frank, yes, thank you. Great. Okay, so the first order of business, if he's on, is Matt done with Troop 7?
Excuse me, Frank, do you want to formally continue these?
Oh,
Three
well, I
things
was
first.
thinking, I guess we could do them real quick.
Yeah.
And then that would get everybody moved along, so that makes sense.
I'll
So
make-
a motion for, go ahead,
Yeah,
Penny.
I'll make a motion to continue 39 Arrowwood to January 24th.
I
Okay.
second that. Richard?
That's Richard, all in favor. Doug,
Yes,
Jen,
Yes.
Brendan,
Yes.
and Frank, yes. Okay, I'll take a motion for 208 Chief Justice.
I make a motion, we continue 208 Chief Justice to January 24th.
And a second,
Don't
Second from Jen.
second from Jen Fuller. All in favor, Richard,
Yes.
Doug,
yes,
Brendan,
Yes.
and Frank, yes. Thank you. And how about 11 Gilson?
I make a motion, we continue 11 Gilson to January 24th.
Okay, and second,
I'll
I'll
second
second
that.
it. Oh,
Brendan beat you to it. All in favor, Richard,
Yes.
Doug,
yes,
Jen,
Yes.
Frank, yes. Great, thank you. Also, there won't be any voting on orders this evening. We have any other loose pieces, we'll pick them up after Matt done.
Are you gonna be under the time frame, Frank? If we don't, it's just,
What do you mean?
I thought orders were supposed to be issued in a timely manner, that's all.
I think most of them, we have extensions. So I think we're good.
Okay, that's okay. I just, didn't
Yep.
want to get us in trouble with somebody.
No, I think we're okay, Penny. Thank you.
Okay. Jake, leave that alone.
Okay.
Trying to knock a lamp over.
I see Mr. McCarron has his hand up. Do we want to unmute him?
Thank you. Can you hear me? This is Peter McCarron.
Yep.
Okay, 135 Glade. So I heard you say you're not going to take up conditions tonight. Could you elaborate on when those were going to happen or are going to happen? I thought we had discussed on the 20th of December that they would happen tonight.
Unfortunately, the agent was out all last week and she's not in this evening. So we're going to do these on the 24th.
On the 24th, okay.
All right.
Anything else I need to do between now and then?
I'm looking at Jen to see if she's aware of anything. We'll check, Mr. McCarron, if there's something that's missing. Jen will, or Amy will get back to you.
Okay, appreciate that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. How about, is Matt on yet? Jen, can you see?
Yeah, he's here. He's just muted.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Or
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
if-
Yep.
Ken,
We can even see
so,
there he is.
thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. So I'm with True 7 of Scituate, and essentially for my project, I wanted to originally construct kind of a pull-up and dip station on the park across from the Driftway. But then I talked with Mr. Snow and Miss Foley, I believe, at the park. And we talked about these trail exercise stations that would go around the park on the trail paths. Yeah, so those are the pictures right there. And they're all relatively simple. They would all be put in the ground and made out of wood. And also talking with Mr. Snow that I would be putting up signs too that would point the directions of the pathways. Because Mr. Snow said that a lot of the signs before had been kind of damaged. And I think that that would also help because like you need the signs in order to know where you're going. And also with these, each station I'm going to have like kind of like a QR code that's going to bring to it, and it's going to explain what the station is used for and how you use it. And that's the sign that I'm going to give with the station, and the sign that's going to be going, that's the directions for the trails, will also be put there so that they won't be like weathered away easily. So they're going to be made of material that's not just paper. But as you can see, all the trail exercise stations are relatively straightforward. And there are only a couple of them around the park, and they wouldn't take up a lot of space either. But I think that they really help the park and kind of promote that like health around the park and exercise.
Okay. Jen, do you want to, Jen and I met with Matt out there,
Yeah.
so if you want to follow up a little bit.
Yeah, I thought I think as we all know, the Driftway Park is one of our most used properties in Scituate, and it's used by a really diverse age spectrum. And I think what Matt is proposing does really speak to, you know, more than one age or ability group. So it could be a great addition to the area.
Go right, Richard.
Yeah, I think it is a great idea, first of all. In the old days, which I'm qualified to talk about, you know, there were all sorts of equipment on most fields, most school fields, jungle gyms, different things that kids could use, adults could use. They were out in the open, and sometimes they were used a lot, sometimes they weren't used a lot, but we've gotten away from a lot of that, and I know times have changed, but I really like this idea. And as long as the stuff is installed appropriately and has enough support for people of different sizes and ages, I think it's just a great idea. And I think, Matt, you should be commended for coming up with it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Doug?
Yeah, no, it looks good. So Matt, there's the diagrams and then there's a picture of the bars on the posts, but so you're doing both with the benches as well, like at each station or
I think the idea
So
Doug,
each
was-
of those pictures on.
that we'd do like when we talked with Matt about it, maybe one of these exercise pieces at trail intersections so people could walk along, do say the body rise, go to the next one, maybe the reverse pull up. And on those posts or whatever's there, we might also put our trail marker because we've lost a lot of the trail markers and intersections. It's kind of what we talked about. Do you agree, Matt?
Yes, but not necessarily the giant pull-up bar on the left. I don't think I'm
Right.
gonna kind of incorporate that anymore.
That was it, rather than Matt
Oh,
kind
well,
of gave
then
us the option of both things. It was either, when we originally talked, Doug, if you remember, you guys saw
Yeah.
pictures of the larger station. And when Jen and I met with Matt, he had this idea as well. We talked about both and kind of felt like maybe the individual stations would be more beneficial than the larger one. And that's why I suggested that he come and speak to the commission and get your folks' opinion.
so the benches too, like where you're doing the hamstring pull and stuff like that. So there'll be some stations with those.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Maybe we could talk about that and incorporating, like one of those might have a taller post in one corner or something, so that we could put a trail marker on it. Seemed like they could be modified just a little bit.
Okay, yeah. It looks like a great idea.
Not being a big user of these, I was kind of hoping maybe some of you might have some more input than me. Maybe I'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, I think we're
We
gonna
could
have
all
to.
use it.
We'll have
I
some.
mean, I think in time it would be fun for somebody to design a workout program where you run or walk the trails and then you stop and do like, so it's kind of a intermediate, or what do you call it, interval training kind of idea. You'd need, but some fitness person could, design that would be a kind of a neat thing, and you have it posted at the beginning so people could actually use the trail in a combination workout kind of thing. I think would be kind of cool. But I'm not going to be the one to devise that. But there's a gym just down the road that might be happy to do something like that.
Good point. Will they have refreshment stations along the way as well?
No, Frank, I know what you're thinking. Not doing that. Not doing that.
Okay. Penny?
We have a hand raised too,
Yeah,
Frank, just so you know.
Yep, we'll work through the members and then we'll go on to that one. Penny?
I was just wondering, how far out are you gonna go? Are you gonna go across the sand pits with these?
Not like in the sand, I don't think.
Penny, I think if you looked at the map for the Driftway Park and you looked, what do we have, 6 stations?
Yeah,
Yes.
So I think that there's enough spots
in the wooded area is where
In-
you're gonna be.
wherever a trail intersects. We can, maybe a couple members, yourself or Jen, whatever, we could walk around with Matt and we could pick the trail intersections. And then hopefully we can incorporate that into our map.
Okay, no, I was just curious because I don't know how many people actually go across the sand pit and out around the bend there, because that's an absolutely gorgeous view out there.
Yeah, well, I think it just depends on how many intersections. I was thinking that they might stay a little closer. But-
Okay, no,
um,
that's fine. It's just,
No, that's
Like
why,
I
that's where
said,
I'll just,
I
that's
know
why,
when I go there, I go across the sand pits and out around the bend, and it's just an unbelievable view out there, that's all.
So
And I
maybe
don't
by
know
the time you get
how
to
many
that
other
far end, you're gonna need a leg stretch. So maybe we should put that way out there.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yes, no, I'm fine with it all.
Thanks. Brendan?
I think it's great. Again, actually, like Richard said, I haven't seen one of these since the old days. It's 40 some years ago. Yeah, but I think it's cool. I think it's great.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else in there? We do have someone, if we could let that person in and they could say their name and address.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Joanne Wyckoff. I live at 154 Turner. And my question is, there are 6 stations? That's it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there room to expand to more stations if it's a success?
If we
Yeah.
can find another willing scout.
I
So
see.
This is Matt's Eagle project.
Yeah.
And this is what he's proposing for this one, but certainly if it proves to be well used or receives good review, then certainly the commission could consider that. Or I know oftentimes there's another scout in the wings for a project, and we could talk to them further. The Troop 7's been doing a great job at helping us construct some of our trails and in keeping those up and helping the commission with a number of projects. So they always seem to be willing to
Great.
jump in.
Thank you.
Do you find this, obviously you think this is a good idea for the Driftway Park?
I do. It just seems like someone was talking about a program, like a fitness program with 6 stations doesn't seem possible. It seems like you'd have to have more, but maybe I'm just too over eager.
Well, hey,
Hey, that's all good.
it's a good start. I think,
That's a good problem to have.
we see the Driftway Park, as Jen's pointed it out several times, as one of our most used properties. A lot of people enjoy it and they use it for many different reasons. We have the open field, we have the access to the river and the marsh. So it is utilized in many different ways. And if this would be helpful, it would benefit residents in the town as well. So
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else have any questions for Matt? So I checked with Amy, and we have a Driftway fund with funds in it for maintaining the Driftway Park. If we need to spend some money on that, we use some up to make some repairs to the viewing platform a couple years ago, but we have money available. I'd like to get a motion from someone to appropriate up to $500 to pay for some of these materials. Pressure treated wood and the bars and whatnot are expensive. I think Matt's got his hands, work cut out for him to do this. And I'd like to see if we couldn't fund the materials. We've been kind of doing that with a lot of the projects of the trails. We've been buying the material for the boardwalks and some of the other things, the signs and whatnot. And then the scouts have provided the labor and organization to put these together. So if anybody would.
Frank, I'll make a motion to appropriate $500 from the Driftway Park Fund. And my only question is, when does Matt want to get this done?
So I'd have to wait for the weather to kind of get a little warmer because it would require me to dig in the ground. So it would probably, I'm aiming for somewhere between February and March.
Excellent. So anyway, you got that motion, Frank.
Thank you, Richard.
I second the motion.
And that was Jen?
Yep.
Great. So all in favor, Doug,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes,
Brendan,
Yes.
and Frank, yes. Okay. Matt, I think you got the
Good
green
work.
light.
Thank
And,
you. Oh my
thank you.
God.
Now the pressure's on, Matt.
Maybe we can, at some point, start to think about that. If you kind of work towards the stock list, I'm happy to help you with that. And then we can put together a PO or something to get the materials, and all that takes a little time. The end of February will be here before we know it. So if you have questions, let me know and we'll work towards that end.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like a lot.
Well, we
Right.
appreciate your enthusiasm and you're willing to do that, as well as the other things that Troop 7 does. So it's a very beneficial to both of us, I guess. Thank you.
Good work, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You have a nice night.
All right. You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You don't need to watch us do the rest of this. All right. We have a whole pile of folder here. Look, Jen's got a note up here that needs signatures. So if anybody finds the chance to get in and get those done,
I'll be over sometime tomorrow.
you heard him, Jen. What else do we have? I was at the Crosby Field, Appleton Field, the last day of the year. And I was amazed at how many people were out hunting deer that day. I know it's the last day and a lot of people, and it was a nice day, so a lot of people out there, but I was surprised at the number of hunters to
Did
see
you
on
have
that.
bright colors on, Frank?
Everybody had their orange on, but it is a good thing to encourage people, other people walking their dogs or just being out there to wear bright colors. The season's ended now, so.
Yeah.
But it was surprised at how many people were actually using the property for that.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Well, hopefully we can get rid of a few deer, because I spent a little time walking around and it's way too populated. The amount of browse and the
Well, that's
damage.
what's sad. I mean, I love the deer, but it's unhealthy to be overpopulated like that.
Right.
So, that's good.
So it's good to know, and hopefully continue to make some progress on some of these. So we could be done by 6 o'clock if somebody doesn't have anything else.
Can I
That would
just
be a
ask-
record.
Oh, can I ask a quick question, Frank? Did
Yeah.
they put the cardboard inside the pig houses?
What I noticed was some of it was put away, some of it was covered with a tarp and weighted down. So I think they did do
But it
a
isn't
pretty good
blowing
job.
around anymore.
No, they helped clean that up. I'm not sure that the cardboard that was blowing was from a pile that they had left there, or the actual cardboard they had put on the ground and didn't weight it down, but they
Yeah.
did seem to do a better job of picking up around there.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, we just don't want it to get out of control.
we do not.
No.
I don't think, Penny, we ever got a response from Phil Benjamin, but I had just read a really interesting article on thinning and removing of trees and stuff. And I think that the proposal for the
Teak Sherman.
Teak Sherman is well within acceptable pruning and cutting.
So should I let her know to go forward?
I'd be in favor of it.
Sure.
Did they do an RDA for that?
Yeah, they did. Well, we told her, but then we asked her to wait until we heard back from Phil.
I think we're good to go.
Oh, okay, so I'll just send her a text telling her. you
Yeah,
know.
maybe what you could do, Penny, is why don't they give us some notice as to when they think they might be doing that?
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
'cause they know
I mean, I
they
think that
want-
still has to go out to bid and everything, right? Or does it have money, the money's been appropriated?
Yeah,
Well,
I think so. It's not my project. I was just I'm in favor of it, but I'll talk to Jean.
Yeah, it would be good to get a heads up, I think, if she
Well,
could
yeah,
notify.
because she wants, this really needs to be done this winter, so they're ready for the growing season.
Right,
You don't want trucks in the middle of the field when they're trying.
running over your tomato plants, huh?
That is
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
true.
Exactly. And
Okay.
get the fence up. So, I told her to contact Nancy Hoyt.
Okay.
On what the steps were she was supposed to take, or Mary. But I think Nancy has the most information.
Okay,
All right. But
sounds
I
good.
will.
And it reminds me, you're saying that, I met with Paul Scott and Jeff Hassett and worked out the remaining scope for Damon, and Jeff put together a proposal. We need to get that approved at town hall, and then they'll get started so we can move in that order.
Do you have a figure that you're looking at?
Well, we don't have a bid yet for the project. We have a price from Morse to complete his work.
Yeah, no, I know that.
So, and then once we have that, then we'll put together, between Paul and Jeff, put together the plans and bid documents and get it out to bid.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
Anybody else?
I think that's it.
Well, hope you all stay warm tomorrow.
That's,
I think we can manage.
Frank, let me ask you a question. I've been told that I should let my faucet drip tonight.
Is your house heated?
I think you.
My cellar is not heated. It's, it's fieldstone.
Yeah,
The mice live down.
I think you're okay. I think that sometimes they worry about it if the frost goes deep into the ground, but we don't really have any frost yet, Penny, so.
All right, that's
Yeah.
all. Because those pipes are exposed in the cellar, and there's nothing down there. There's no furnace or anything to heat it up. So it's pretty cold, that's all.
I think you'll be okay. If it's
Yeah, I
not,
do
give
too.
Richard a call in the morning. He'll come over with a hairdryer.
No, I'll.
What, come on to the mainland? Really?
Come bail me out.
All right. I think you'll be okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, I'm going to CPC in
Okay.
another hour, so that's nice.
Do we have enough members to close? If you leave us? Do we have enough
She's not
members?
leaving for an hour, Frank. I think we can do this.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere yet. But
All
I
right.
just wanted to let you know, we're going to be discussing Mordecai Lincoln in
Oh, good.
executive session. So let you
luck.
know after where we're going with that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Penny.
Oh, please.
Do they need anything from the commission? I mean, we've given letters before about our,
Well, not yet, before we go to town meeting, but we have to iron some things out because it's been so long. And because of Border Street, they've come back with another proposal because the PNS was never signed. So we've got to decide if we're gonna up the ante or what, which
Okay.
we'll decide tonight. And hopefully, because that is going to be a gem if we ever get over there.
you'll get there, Penny.
I hope so. I hope so.
It'll be your legacy.
Oh, I just love, it'll, have a small dock where you can put your kayaks out. It will, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully
All right. Well, why don't you make a motion right now?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Anybody want to second that?
I will second that. I haven't got to second anything yet.
Here you go, Doug.
All right.
Yeah,
So we
it
got
makes me
Penny.
feel like I contributed.
Yes.
Oh, talked about the exercise.
Oh, yeah, I did do that.
Good. Okay, all in favor, Richard,
Yes.
Jen,
Yep.
Brendan,
Yes.
Frank, yes. Thanks so much for,
Andy's here too.
oh.
Happy to vote yes to close.
Nice,
Good,
nice
adjourn.
timing.
Good timing.
Well, we'll leave you guys all together to chat, but I think Jen has to shut this down and she's already 1 foot out the door, so we gotta get going. All right, be
All right,
safe.
guys. Have a good night. Talk soon.
Yeah.
Right.